Well, good morning there, Ponderer people. You know what day it is, and you know what time it is. It's Free for All Friday, and that also means it is time to ponder. It is time to ponder. That's right. It is a day where and the time where we think things through, we talk about them, and are no holds barred. So thank you guys for joining us. Yes. Crowd goes wild. So does the echo. All right. Well, it's great to have you with us. Let me get rid of the echo. There we go. So I'm Joel Risinger, and it is time to ponder. We do this every weekday, Monday through Friday. At least we have been. Monday through Friday from 8 to 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Monday will be our last show in that format at that time. And then what we will be doing in September, and I don't have a start date, but we'll post it here on the Pondering Radio page, is we will be turning into a weekly program. And we will be going back on the radio as well as remaining on podcast venues all across the fruited plain, worldwide, actually. And Facebook Live, we'll do that. We'll do the show live on Facebook, stream it when we do it, and post it there. You'll still be able to participate as you do now by typing into the live stream, by posting on the Pondering Radio page of Facebook, by calling, leaving voicemails at 860-500. 7163. That can be a rant line. I guess that's what they call it now in some talk show circles. They have a rant line where you can call and just leave whatever rant you want. Be kind, but you can do it. 860-500-7163 is the number to do that. 860-500-7163. And you can email. The email address is ponderingradio@gmail.com. And since it is Free for All Friday, that means today there are no guests. There are no set topics. There is simply you and I. And you drive the bus. You dictate the topics. You throw out your thoughts, your ideas, your quizzes, your questions, your subjects, whatever they might be. And I must respond. And you can do that on the live stream right here as we roll. Good morning to Susie. I don't know. I know there's others on. I can't see who they are, but I'm glad you're here, all of you. Thank you for joining us on this Free for All Friday. It's a beautiful day out there. Not too hot, not too muggy yet, at least. Had some storms come through yesterday. Hopefully none of you were negatively affected. Just some, I know, wind and rain. There was apparently tornado warnings. I'm not sure if one touched down or not. Someone did send my wife a picture, or she saw one of a tree down. It looked like a path had been cut, so perhaps a tornado did touch down. On my way home from work, I heard a warning, a tornado warning, which usually means they've seen a circular motion on the radar for Litchfield County. So I don't know whether one actually touched down or it just was circulating at the cloud level. But anyway, hopefully none of you were negatively affected. Hopefully you're okay. We need to pray for the folks who were affected by Laura, the hurricane that hit with massive force, Category 4, as I understand it, when it hit ground. Thankfully, it cut a path between major cities, so it didn't hit New Orleans directly, but, the outskirts of the hurricane did hit part of New Orleans, as I understand it. But the community where it touched ground, made landfall, I can't speak today, was relatively small, but still, it moved inland, and it had a wide girth, I should say. So I'm sure it affected thousands of people, and we pray for them and for recovery and, restoration of power and all that good stuff today. I wanted to tell you something else, too. Hopefully you got to see last night some of the Republican National Convention. I thought the speeches, including President Trump's final speech at the end of the week to close out the convention, I thought they were just fantastic. And I just felt like, we were recapturing some of that confidence and pride in what has made our country great. Our faith in God was repeatedly held up during the convention. Our understanding of freedom, our basis of biblical freedom and truth, and just the whole idea that American exceptionalism has blessed the world, not hurt the world overall. And it was just very encouraging, very patriotic, very inspiring, and I'm hoping that people will watch it, listen to it, and consider it. And he dealt with all the issues from the riots and police defunding and all that stuff, as well as the mistakes that police departments have made. He dealt with the coronavirus issues and all the response. He dealt with foreign policy, he dealt with economic policy, he dealt with everything in his speech, and I thought it was very well done. So hopefully you got a chance to watch that. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. Also, wanted to mention just about the weekend, and again, this is all preliminary because the show is yours today, so chime in anytime here, folks. But I wanted to mention, as far as the weekend's concerned, that we are continuing our series at Lifeway Church on the soul and just building up the soul. People have been soul depleted, and so there's a need for soul food. And Pastor Steve is doing a great job with that, and he will continue this weekend. 9 o'clock and 11 o'clock, or 9:30, I should say, and 9:30 and 11 a.m. You can come to 2172 Berlin Turnpike and see it live. We have a touchless experience, so it's safe. Or you can watch online, lifewaych.com, the Lifeway Church Facebook page, or the Lifeway Church Newington YouTube channel later after the fact. You can also participate in Kids Church, which is very well done, high quality production that's available on the YouTube channel as well as through a link on our lifewaych.com website. And you can learn a lot about the church and life groups coming up, Bible study groups, all that kind of stuff right there at lifewaych.com. If you have questions, you want to talk to someone live, if you're not an online person per se, you can call 860-436-9216, 860-436-9216. So, hit me with your best shot there, ponderers. This is a show where we ponder. This is a show where we talk about stuff. This is a show where we encourage people not to check their brain at the door and just soak up whatever the media gives us, because more and more and more, it is bogus. And I hate to say it, it sounds extreme to say that, but it's so true. It's either completely made up, or it's a mixture of truth and lies, or it's slanted based on an agenda of liberal socialism, and it's sad. But you have to think about what you hear and what you see in culture. We, as Christians, seek to sift it through the Word as our filter, and we encourage Christians to do that, and also not to check their faith at the door. Pastor Al, who we interviewed the last couple days, posted this morning defending someone who's come under attack for referencing Joe Biden as Catholic in name only, quote unquote. And people were just attacking and insulting and so forth. And Al said, listen, I defend what he said because I'm not a Catholic, but I know that Catholics oppose abortion. Joe Biden is pro-abortion, even late term. Catholics oppose gay marriage. Joe Biden promotes and supports gay marriage. He just went down through the list. And it's true. You can't claim to be of a faith, whether it's Catholicism or Christianity, like Protestant Christianity, evangelical Christianity, and vote for and support, or as a politician, vote for and support things that are directly contrary to God's word. Doesn't fly. You can't do that. Our faith should dictate all that we think, say, and do, the decisions we make, the things we say, what we write, and of course how we vote, whether we're voting for a politician in office or whether we're a politician voting for bills. It should be, our faith should drive our decisions. And it's not really possible to separate the two. And I think that was the point that Al made. If you really can separate your faith from your actions, is it real faith? Or is it just convenient labeling that makes you look righteous or makes you look holy when you, in fact, don't believe what you're preaching? You don't believe what you're claiming to stand for. So we encourage on the show that what we believe would drive our decisions, including our political positions, our positions on policy and issues of decisions we make, our work, our family life, our sexual life, all of it is based on our faith. All right, so there you have it. What do you have? I'm seeing nothing here. You guys are silent today. It's Friday. It's Friday. You can just relax and throw out, your thoughts, your ideas, your questions. Maybe there's a Bible verse you've read and you say, I don't get that, or a topic or a subject that you say, I just don't understand. What the Bible says about this, or I don't know. I just have no idea if it even addresses the issue, or maybe it does, and I don't understand the position the Bible takes on this, or maybe you have a decision you're making, facing, and you'd like to get some, you know, 2 cents worth of advice. Again, my advice plus 250 will get you a cup of coffee at Dunkin' Donuts. A small, but no fancy stuff, but still, you can get. I always tell people that about my books. When I keel over, they'll be worth more. So you might be able to get a cup of coffee by trading in one of my books. It's possible. I don't know. It depends on who the barista is. They might look at it and go, "That guy? No way, man. You got to pay double." So hit me with your best shot, ponderers. What's on your mind today? It doesn't have to be deep either or challenging. It could be frivolous. It could be, Pastor Phil, what's your favorite color? Today you would think it's green, but it's really not green. My favorite color is actually blue. In fact, we're hoping to paint our house this next year, and we're looking at shades of blue that we can choose from. I think we found one that we both like, my wife and I. So we sent it to the painter, and he likes it too. So I think we're all on the same page. Hopefully it turns out well. We might have it done and then look at it and go, ugh. I hope not. No, I think it'll be good. So Mrs. Ponder is actually here in the room with me today. So if you notice that I'm nervous, that's why. Because Mrs. Ponder and Coda, the Pondering mascot, are both here. There you go. My foot is away, but that's okay. So I'm doing the show live in their presence. So again, I must toe the line. All right, you're a silent bunch this morning. You're like forcing me to come up with the topics, which that's not supposed to be the way it works. Oh, my sister just texted me. It's her birthday today, so pray for Julie Worth. And it's her birthday. She is let's see, she's 4.5 years younger than me. So, and next year I'll be 59. So she's 54, I think. You're not supposed to tell a woman's age, are you? Well, she's not watching, so I can say it. It's all good. Just don't tell her. Yeah, she's 54. Yeah. So, so she'll be celebrating up in New Hampshire today. She'll probably be working is what she'll be doing, but that's all right. She's a special ed teacher. She's a specialist. She travels to different schools in southern New Hampshire to support and work with kids. It's been a challenge with COVID and not being able to see some of them in person, but nonetheless, she does a good job. All right, so what else here, gang? Come on. Wow, you're quiet. Are you even alive, you ponderers? I don't know. Maybe I'm just not seeing posts. Sometimes that happens where we're delayed, and I don't know. I don't get to see the messages until later. So I hope that's not what's happening, because that kind of makes this a challenge. But we would love to hear your thoughts, questions, ideas, comments, whatever you got there, gang, on this free-for-all Friday. Our last free-for-all Friday, because we'll do a show, kind of a closer show Monday, and then we'll be going to a weekly format. So, and what we'll do with that format, in case you're wondering, is we're going to kind of do what we've been doing here, but a little shorter version of it, probably 15 minutes, where we take a verse, we dive into a passage, I should say. Won't be just one verse, most likely, most of the time, but a passage, and then we'll apply it. We'll talk about its application to our modern world and encourage people to, to apply that in their own lives and walk it out. We will continue to call it Pondering, as we will encourage people to ponder with Pastor Joel. the scriptures, and hope to have it on a couple different Christian networks and some Christian stations, and we will post those as we go on the Pondering Radio page of Facebook so that people know. All right. Well, I am not either. You're not typing it in, or I'm not seeing any comments or questions or thoughts today regarding topics for discussion. Just looking to see here. Oh yeah, okay. Pastor Jim just texted me, said people are posting and I'm not seeing it. All right, I don't know. Mrs. Pondering, can you look? Can you see the posts? Oh, well, you can turn off the volume. Mrs. Pondering is going to assist me by reading out the posts because for some reason I am not able to see them, so she's going to give me a hand. So, can you give me a hand, Mrs. Pondering? Oh wait, I killed the volume. I was going to have it flash. Hold on a second. Okay, Susie wants to know what everyone's binge watching. We've been binge watching the RNC, but prior to that, what were we watching? What is the thing we started watching last night? Oh, the Umbrella Academy, which we just watched one. Sort of like a cartoon made into a series. It's kind of like X-Men, honestly, where these kids have power, but then they grow up, and I don't know. So far, it's okay. We've only watched one episode. I've been binge watching. My wife does not. She does not like this, but I do. I love Alone, the series Alone, where they throw people out in the middle of the wilderness. They have to survive. There's a new season now where they take couples, and when I say couples, it's not married couples, although there's one married couple, but it could be brothers, could be father, son, family members. One they put 10 miles away from the other one, and they have to find each other and then survive. And it started with 7 pairs. Quickly, within 2 or 3 days, it was down to 3 or 4. Now it's down to 3, and it's quite interesting to see that. So, okay, swipe left. I'm not. Nothing's happening. No, I don't see anything. I'm swiping. So what else we got there? Give me other topics there, Mrs. Pondering.
Brenda McDunn says going to the gun range with my sisters to shoot today.
Nice. Brenda's going to do some shooting. It's a good day for it, actually. I always liked shooting outdoors when it wasn't windy. The wind does affect not only the trajectory when you're shooting a longer distance, but it affects you being able to stand still, breathe properly, squeeze, all the things you're supposed to do. And so I liked it when it was calm, and today seems to be so far.
So what's the messages from and asking who is the Job?
Okay. Well, I mean, there's some debate about that, but I think that, and I don't claim to have the answer 100% here, just an opinion. Some think that it was written by Moses, even though it doesn't claim to be written by Moses. It's probably the oldest book in the Bible in terms of its authorship. That's what, again, a lot of scholars believe, that it was written even prior to the Pentateuch. And because they believe that Job predates, obviously not Adam, but Abraham, etc. And that's interesting. So some would say they think that Job was responsible for building the pyramids. And I don't know that has much credence, but it is a theory that's out there, and a lot of people do subscribe to it, that the greatness of Job suggests that some of the wonders of the world must have come from him. The rabbinic tradition, the Jewish tradition it was written by Moses, but many people think it was written, and I'm actually right now looking at Wikipedia as we speak, written between the 7th and 4th centuries BC. 6th century being the most likely period, and that would obviously not be probably be Moses, but we don't know for sure. Honestly, we really don't know. So let's see here. Hang on. You know, there is an argument for the Torah being older than Job, um, and that's you know that's what some hold, but many do not. Um, I'm sorry. Did I say it was after Moses? No, it would be before Moses, and that's why there's some debate as to who wrote it. If it wasn't Moses, who did it? And again, we don't really know. So interesting. I'd be interested to hear what others think. Pastor Al, Pastor Jim. I've always kind of just thought it was Moses, and I think that probably is the oldest Jewish tradition. What else we got, Mrs. Pondering?
That's
It.
it.
Easy. That's cool. I feel like I'm at Staples right now with the easy button. Boink. Oh wait, she's found more.
No.
Well,
That's
wait.
it, but Brenda says I
Yeah, so we'll do that. We're going to be doing that. That will be our format. We'll be on Christian stations primarily, which allows for that format. And I've always been. I love teaching the Word. That's my thing. I'm an exegete. I believe in exegesis. No, not exit Jesus. That's different. Exegesis, which means pulling out from the text the meaning and then applying it. That's what I love to do. So that's what we're going to do. Again, with the same pondering theme of wanting people to apply and use the Word, and take it seriously and think things through. And so we'll take passages and we'll say, hey, so what is this? How does this relate to what's going on in our world today? And I want to encourage you too. By the way, if you didn't see it, the president spoke about having 3 pharmaceutical companies who are very close to a vaccine, and we will have it by the end of the year, maybe even sooner, and that they are already set up to manufacture. And people look at this, oh, come on, what's he talking about? I met yesterday with my GI doctor, and it was a follow-up from my endoscopy and colonoscopy, the double whammy, where one doctor goes in one end and one other goes the other, and they wave in the middle. Hey, Charlie, what's happening? No, sorry. When they told me they were doing both at the same day, I was like, really? Oh, goody. You are going to put me under for this, right? Yeah, they did. And I didn't have any. I was, what I was worried about? I was worried about like having a sore throat or something after, and I didn't at all. It was great. But all is well. I have scar tissue here from acid reflux and hiatal hernia and ulcerated tissue from all kinds of things, I'm sure, years of stress, but nonetheless, I am doing better and the medication's working. But he was telling me, my doctor was telling me, he's part of a team of researchers that are looking at the use of the antibodies, the plasma studies, and antibody studies for treating and creating a vaccine for COVID-19. And because he's so intimately involved with that, he was telling me that this is before I heard the president's speech, that they narrowed down to 3 companies, that they were very far along in the process, and that the administration under President Trump had done something they'd never done, which was to pay these companies up front and basically challenge them to race to see who wins to get the thing done and therefore gets the vaccine out there first. And they paid them to produce the manufacturing facilities and the setup, not really not build facilities, but do the setup, which from a manufacturing perspective is very expensive. All the equipment and the process engineering and all that stuff that has to be done, the supply chain created, all that. So that once they get approved, boom, they can have that thing on the market overnight. They can have that stuff pumping out the door immediately, which normally is not what happens. They get the vaccine approved, and then they go through the manufacturing development process, and then they set up the supply chains, and then they purchase the materials, and it takes months, sometimes years. Well, it's not going to take that long this time. Once that vaccine finishes the trial period, it'll come out immediately, begin being produced and sold. And it was genius, really. And that's well, the president alluded to it in his speech last night, and I thought, yeah, I know that's true because I know one of the guys working on it. So it was pretty awesome. Um, so that's really good news as far as COVID, because if they get a vaccine that works and it gets pumped out there, um, the days of masks and hiding in your basement and your kids running around the house screaming when they're supposed to be learning math, those days are over. Thank you very much. I can't wait. Um, I can actually see all my patients instead of just some of my patients where the others are in isolation. My patients will be able to see their families where they can't see their families now. Hold on a second. Oh, what day of the week? Yeah. So those things are going to be just such a refreshing thing. I don't know what day of the week I'm going to be on yet, guys. I will keep you posted here on the Pondering Radio page. Susie asked that, what day of the week will we be on with the new Pondering show? It depends on the deal we strike with the Christian networks we're talking to. And I say that because, well, they will air it at different days and times. And I know I'm going to be doing a Bread of Life program occasionally at WHS too, by the way, which will air at different times. Their production requirements will determine when I have to do the show and record it. And so once I get that information, and it may take a couple weeks, so be patient, I will post it here on the Pondering Radio page, and we'll start that in September at some point. All right, I think we're out of time. Thank you, guys. Oh, someone asked if we Linda said, do you think they'll restrict our freedom of, Brenda, if we refuse to take it? I'm sure the liberal-controlled states and cities will attempt to do that. If President Trump wins, I suspect there will be some executive orders to limit their power as much as he can. There are certain states' rights guaranteed in the Constitution, though, so it's going to vary from state to state. But I think, again, here's the thing that we can push back with. If people who want the vaccine have the vaccine, and people who don't, then according to the posture of the government, the people that have chosen not to have it are the only ones at risk, right? If the vaccine works and people choose not to have it, then they're the only ones at risk. This thing of being a carrier and, we might infect someone else becomes moot because the only one that could get it would be the one that chose not to get the vaccine, and that's their right. If they choose that risk, which, I've always said in the show is a low risk in terms of mortality at least, that's up to them, and there shouldn't be any civil rights pushback and challenge to try to force people to do it. But we'll see. I suspect the liberal Democrat-controlled cities and states will, because they've already overstepped some of their bounds in terms of freedom. So that'll be an interesting battle, but there should be no need to shut everything down anymore. And again, if President Trump's in, there won't be a national, shutdown, which is what Joe Biden is promising. If he gets in, again, with a vaccine, what would be the purpose of that? And with treatment options, which they're also doing, like the plasma-based treatments, et cetera, there's no reason to do that. So I'm very optimistic. And we are also very out of time. So God bless you guys. Have a great day, great weekend. We'll see you Monday morning for our final show in kind of this format series. In the meantime, stay in the Word, keep praying, keep pondering. We love you guys. Appreciate you. Have a safe weekend and spend some time with the Lord, okay? Bye for now.